There we go. All right, we should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get to it. Remember, this is kind of the goal here, right? This thing. Just want to look at this again. This is a little ridiculous, but like this is like more or less kind of the goal. We're kind of trying to create something like this. All right, let's hop back into it. All right, so this is where we were at right here, right? We were kind of choosing some references here. Let's go ahead and frame this. So we're looking good so far. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I kind of want to work on the wheels and then kind of come back to everything else. Another part with the wheels that I wanted to mention is if you really look at this, you look at the wheels here. They have kind of this ridge here, this double ridge, which I really like. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in on that. All right, we're going to go ahead and tab into edit mode. We're going to add those ridges there. Like a slight ridge there. I'm going to bevel that though. That's better. And then I think for the inside, that's looking pretty good. For the outside, there might be one more. Perfect. All right, that's looking good. All right, now it's time for the actual rim part of it. Hey, how you doing? All right, so for those types of rims, kind of have this internal part here. The cube that I lost was right here. So let's go ahead and get rid of this array real quick. Where is our origin of our world? There it is. I want to do an array around this, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add in a curve circle. Scale that down, move it out here, right? Move it up, RX90, all that good stuff. Scale it in. Try to get it centered as good as possible here. That looks fine. And then what we want to do is we want to add our array, right? So watch this. We're going to go ahead and place this here. We're going to add an array to this, but we're going to choose curve, and we're going to choose this curve specifically. And then we're going to choose, what do we want? 5. I think we wanted 5, right? Yeah, okay, so we want 5 spokes. And then we kind of want them to kind of like bow out. I don't know how to explain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a loop cut here, add a loop cut here. I'm going to select both of those, move them out like this. Okay, and then I'm going to add a subdivision to this, like that. And now they kind of bow outwards. Now it's just a matter of, okay, how thick do we want these things to be, right? Kind of want them to be like that. Yeah, and then I want to bring them in closer to each other. Oh, I'm not in X-ray mode. Whoopsies. There we go. Perfect. All right, that's starting to look a lot better. And then what's cool about the array modifier that we currently have on is we can just scale these in until we're like happy with where they're at. Okay, scale them out a little bit. Cool, tab into edit mode. Cool, all right. Then bring these in here. All right, and now we're gonna need to also add a crease. I'll show you how we're gonna do that. We're gonna add a crease to the back side of these. So if we go, hold Alt. Doesn't really want to do it for me, but that's okay. So these specifically, here and here, go to X-ray mode, hold Shift. Cool, perfect. All right, for these right here, we'll go ahead and Shift and click all of those, and we're just gonna go ahead and crease those. So I'm gonna go to mean crease. You can kind of see what's happening there, right? And then again, press A, RZ 180 to flip, and then we're gonna wanna select the middle, GY to push it out the other way. Perfect. Little bit skinnier. That's starting to look like that rim a little bit, more or less. Curlison84 says hello. Hello, how are you, my friend? This music is distracting. I'm listening to the top hits, the top EDM hits right now. Just FYI, if anyone's curious. All right, let's actually get this thing looking like a rim here. Let's bring this out. There we go. All right, I would like to delete all this stuff in the middle. There we go. There we go. All right, face select mode, delete the faces, there we go. All right, so I want that external rim, and then I want to push it out twice because I want, I want the rim and I want the outer like concave part of the rim. So let's see, I want to take this, I want to scale it out, EY to extrude it, GY, kind of like that, right? We'll take these. Perfect. Awesome. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to go ahead and inset. We're going to extrude it and scale it in. All right, and we're going to select the inverse of this. Select, invert, and we're going to delete those faces. We're going to take this. This is going to be the inside here. Perfect. And then this inner loop, we're going to go ahead and select our edge select here. We're going to select our inner loop, EY to extrude it. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and, I guess we could F to fill. Yeah, we can do that. We're going to inset that. Now for this part, I kind of want this to have a subdiv, which it does. There we go. That's much better. That's exactly what I'm looking for there. Perfect. Already starting to look much better. Exactly kind of like what I'm looking for here. And then I need an inset on top of that inset. You know what? I think there are 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 7 of them. That's why it looks so off. Okay, that's a little bit better. Perfect. Okay. And then this part here also kind of comes in. I didn't think this was going to be the most difficult part, but it's up there. It's up there in terms of difficulty level. I think when it comes to like selecting edge loops, you just kind of got to be careful about what you do here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have that, and we have bolts around that. Oh, this jam just came on just now. Okay, here we go. All right, I think this part has to come in. There we go. And then I'm going to add a loop cut here. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then for this outer one, we have kind of a few different ridges that we have to follow up here. Hey there, Kenny. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. How's everybody doing? There we go. Oh, do we have subdiv on this? We do, but we have an edge split first, so let's get rid of that. Don't really need that. Yeah, see, I'm kind of going for something sort of like that, but I also want it to come in again, so we're going to have to select the inner loop, EY, extrude it inwards. I feel like that looks pretty cool. I don't want to go too crazy with this one. I do want to have a mirror. Let's do mirror on the Y and the X. The mirror object is going to be our empty. There we go. And now we have it on both sides. There we go. Much better. Remember, at the end of the day, this thing's going to look, we're going to have this in like X-ray view. So like here, let me show you what I mean. See if I have my material. Yeah, we're going to have a material like kind of similar to this. Here, hold on. It's going to be like this. It's going to look cool. I just want to see what it's looking like so far so I can get a gauge on this. This is kind of what I was imagining though. So I was imagining like we're going to have like this X-ray thing. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We can see what it's going to look like so far if we plop it into the other file, but so far I'm like pretty happy with how this like quote unquote X-ray material is coming. Whoa, wait, what? Oh my god, I forgot I had the wireframe shader on it too. Oh, this is looking pretty cool. Yeah, this is already looking awesome. Is this working Eevee? I want to see. I haven't tried it in Eevee. Oh, it does. Oh, I didn't think it was going to work in Eevee. Nice. So I guess the idea here is, well, this is already, I'm already loving this, but the idea here is like, you kind of want to, how do I explain this? We want this to have like a kind of like that transparent like cutaway look, which is kind of like what we're already getting here, which is what I'm loving about this. I'm also probably going to add a wireframe modifier in geometry nodes. The only thing that we do have to fix is that piece we added at the bottom, because that's going to come through weird. I don't know that we even need it now that we have... Oh, you know what we could do? You can fake it by deleting this face, deleting this face. Boom. Now we'll have less going on in the middle. Perfect. So here's where it gets cool, though, and I'll show you. So look, this is kind of the effect I'm going for, right? Like I'm already starting to get it. But over here, right, we kind of have these like highlights and things. I think I'm going to add that with like geometry nodes. So I'm going to do that now. We're going to come back and add more details to the truck, but I just want to show you what I mean. If we take our truck and we do mesh to curve, and then we do curve to mesh, and then we do join geometry. We want to rejoin it eventually, but we'll do curve circle. We'll do 10 and we'll do 0.01. So look, now I have this wireframe, right? So here's what's cool though. I can go ahead and do a reroute node here. And I can rejoin the original geometry with this. So now I have the wireframe plus the truck. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. Yeah, see, this is where it gets interesting, right? And then you take this geometry nodes modifier, you add it to everything else, right? You go geometry nodes, Sorry, geometry nodes. There it is. Boom. Same concept here. Geometry nodes 001. And now look what we have. Now we have something really interesting. Remember, I'm trying to do this in my own like kind of stylized look, which is kind of what I'm doing, but we're not even close because right now this already looks really good, but I haven't even gone to like applying materials to anything or anything like that. So this is going to already be really, really interesting. And now we come back here to geometry nodes and you were like, yeah, you know what? I actually want it to be a little thinner. Ooh, now that looks sleek, right? And now we kind of have something really stylized and interesting looking. And I feel like this is definitely like my style. Like I like this see-through. This is starting to look cool. And then we'll go back to solid view and we'll start adding, adding in like our components and things like that. And like here's where it gets really cool, right? Because we have this inset here. So like I can actually make this a totally separate thing, right? So I can come in here, right? I can make this like its own thing. And then this won't be disturbed, right? So I'll show you what I mean. This now will not be disturbed, so I can kind of like have this be inset here. Perfect. So now when we go to rendered view, I have a section that I can actually integrate myself. So now you have the transparency, but then we also have this piece that has its like own thing going on as well. Kind of bring these over here. All right. There we go. See, now we can kind of see like what we're working with here. This is kind of more like what I was going after, right? And we didn't even describe to Blender what we want our materials to look like yet. And we don't even have half the detail that we want on this thing. There's a lot that I really want to add to this. Like I want to add an engine. I want to add like exhaust wires, things like that. Like this is going to be legit when this thing is done. And we can customize this completely. Right now I have this as a blue. We can have it be like a subtle white, right? And we can also come in here. I mean, this already looks so cool. Let me see what it looks like in Cycles. Oh, I thought Cycles was gonna be like, nope, you're good. You're not gonna see anything, bro. Yeah, this looks sick. This is gonna look really cool. And I haven't even gone to do any of the details yet. This is gonna look really sick. What do you mean the clipping's not working here? Why isn't the clipping working? It's weird. Okay, I don't know why that's happening, but we'll come back to that. All right, let's add some more details to this thing because I already think it looks like really cool, so I'm really hype about it. And you know what? Let's go to Eevee because that just renders so much quicker. And like even with the windshield, oh, there's just so many things because now I'm like we can do a whole dashboard. We can, yeah, this is gonna be cool. All right, so like let's do like a, oh, there's so many things that I can just like already imagine doing. All right, let's start with this. Let's get a cube in here. And again, this doesn't have to be anything too crazy. It can be simple, right? But I'm thinking like, okay, there's a door right here, right? Behind here, there's probably a wall like in a real food truck, right? Because you want to keep your driving area separate from your work area, right? I mean, ideally, if you're operating a food truck, right? I would assume that's what you want. So now we have that wall, right? So now we go into rendered view, there's that wall, right? However, we're gonna probably make that the blueprint material that we just made, this X-ray material, which is called what? What is it called? Material 001. I'm gonna call this X-ray because that's what it is. Come on, there we go. We'll do X-ray. There it is. And now you can't tell, but that wall is also looking good. And if we click on it, we can add the geometry nodes modifier, geometry nodes 001, and now we can see that wall even more. And then if we want to take it a step further, we can subdivide it a few times just to give it that extra geometry, right? And now when we look at it, we can really see that there's like a wall inside of this container, which is really cool. This is already starting to look exactly like I was imagining it. All right, let's oh my god, there's just so many things I want to do. I can't even tell you like where I would even start. I'm gonna use this for some inspiration though. This AI image. I know everyone hates AI, but I'm just using it for some inspiration here. Nothing too crazy. All right, let's get the mirrors in there. Yeah, let's do the mirrors. All right, so the mirrors will go on either side. They'll be right about here. I'm thinking for the mirrors, we can do like a cube. Scale it down a lot. All right, we'll push it out here. And I'm thinking we'll do similar style to kind of like what they have. Nothing too crazy. Let's do a mirror modifier. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom here, extrude it down. Here's our connection point. Here's our mirror. Literally like that simple, right? Except this whole thing should be kind of like a little bit further down. So I'll select it. What do we think? It's not bad. I feel like it needs to be a little bit wider. Oh my god, this song is a banger. If you guys don't know what's the song called, hold on. This song is This Is What It Feels Like by, I don't know, but it's an EDM song. Good song though. There we go, that's a little bit better. My gosh, did you guys ever like hear a song and it just brings you back? Let's see what this looks like. Now, how do we make this pop more? We add our geometry nodes modifier to it. Object apply scale. There we go. Whew. This thing's looking nice. This already looks so cool. I know you guys can't hear the music. I have it coming from my other computer. I don't think I'm allowed to play it on YouTube because I think it's like a copyright infringement thing, unfortunately. All right. What's my next step here? Got the wheels. Oh, you know what the wheels need that I did not add? They need a cylinder in the middle for like our like axle, if you will. So let's do that. And also, while we're at it, why don't we like cut into the bottom of this thing, right? Where's our cylinder our cylinder cutters? There they are. Watch this. Oops, I'm moving it the wrong way. The reason it was going so slow is because I had the bevel operating at the same time. So this there we go. Okay, I think it's going to work now. Bro. All right, we'll do it a slightly different way. We're going to add our own manual cylinder. All right, this is going to cut into this with a boolean. And the reason we're doing so much detail, too, on this is because... Oopsies, I selected the wrong object. There we go. Uh-oh. Bro, why isn't this working? All right, you know, we're going to do this a slightly different way. All right, how's that look? I feel like it's okay. It'll do. All right, I'm curious what would happen if I now made this like a metallic shader. Interesting. You can kind of see it through that. Excuse me. I feel like I'm definitely thinking too much about this. Just want it to be like highly interesting. Like I want there to be a lot of like interesting details in this thing, right? Let's make the chairs next, and then we'll come back to the engine. Chairs are going to be simple. Again, just like a cube. I feel like you can make pretty much anything out of a cube. We're going to do a subdiv. You guys know that song "What Is Love"? That's what I'm listening to right now. That looks pretty good for a seat, right? And then like for the under part, the storage. I feel like there we go. there's usually like a part underneath, so I'm gonna just assume that that's there. We're gonna add a mirror, and we're gonna mirror it on the Y across this. Let's go ahead and bring it on the inside here. Yeah, that's good. Put up. What do you guys think? It's kind of stupid, but I also kind of don't mind it. All right, we need a dashboard. There we go. Okay, yeah, I feel like this would come back more like that. I feel like that's a decent dashboard. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm kind of going like more or less pretty simple. How are you going to walk back there? Well, there's doors usually in the back of a food truck. I think most, or like there's also a side door. This is more of like a side view, I guess, if you will. I kind of want to make like two X-ray components. Like one is the outer shell, and the other one's like I'm gonna duplicate this and say X-ray colored, because I want there to be a colored one as well. Like this one could be like a blue, right? Because that's like an internal component. This one could also be X-ray colored. And the seats, if I can click on them, X-ray colored. I'm just talking out loud here, but I think that would be kind of cool. Nice. So far, so good. I'm kind of curious, what does this look like in cycles? I wish you guys could hear my music, because I feel like you'd be understanding why I'm like making the decisions I'm making. Interesting. It's a little bit intense. I kind of want to see, is this one, is there a, that's the layer weight. Interesting. The mix shader. Oh, here we go. God, I have made this so long ago. This looks good. I might render it out in Eevee. I don't know. I kind of want to see what this thing's going to look like, though. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight all this stuff. I'm going to move it to a collection called, a new collection called Vehicle. There we go. This needs to be deleted. This needs to be in another collection. This is what? So, fun fact, you have to disable anything for render that you don't want to pop up. There we go. Okay, so the collection is going to be vehicle. So let's go back to the other file, food truck entry. I just want to see what this is going to look like. File, because I have to put it in their scene, so I'm just curious. Let's do append. Or is it? No, it's I want to do link. File, link. Food truck, collection, vehicle. There it is. All right, so yeah, look, see how it imported the cylinders? But I'm just curious. Let me just see what this is going to look like. I'm going to do... I'm going to do collapse. Oh, how do you do collapse? Mesh collapse. Merge at center. There we go. And now that is going to be cube. Okay, so if I do this, parented to the cube. That did not work. It's fine. Let me just see something. I want to see what my materials look like in this environment. Interesting. They actually don't look terrible. Obviously, there's a few things that I need to like solidify. Now that I know what this looks like in this environment, I'm probably going to modify the materials a lot. Yeah, I think I'm going to modify the materials and make it so that there's going to be a little bit more like solidity in the backside of that, if that makes sense. You don't normally use nodes in Blender? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the nodes are, like, I mean, they're so incredibly powerful. It's not even funny. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can literally copy the animation data. Where does it need to start? It needs to start here. Right? Now, where is the cube? There we go. So I need to parent everything. I need to parent this. Needs to be parented to this. Why can't I parent it? Loop in parents? Oh, I need to go to parent, clear, parent. What do you mean loop in parents, bro? All right, I'll just do a constraint and I'll do copy. No, not limit location. I'll do copy location of the cube. Are you absolutely kidding me? Hold up. Bro, what? Parent, clear, parent. Are you serious? What is happening? All right, you know what I'm going to do instead, guys? Because this is going to drive me insane. I'm just going to keyframe it myself. Let's insert a keyframe here. What is that, 95 that it sits on? No, 94. Oh. Oh. I know why it wasn't working now. Because this other one had a parent. If that was it, I'm gonna lose it though. Yep, that was it. And because of that, hold on. Let me undo this. Okay, now let's add a copy location to this. So, enter, leave. Yay, okay. The reason that didn't work, if anyone was curious, by the way, is because I had two parented objects. There was one that was parented to the other one. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. Just to ask a quick question here to the creators here. So you can't modify the background. Let me see. The background is to remain unchanged. Okay, yeah, so the fence stays white, and then the grass stays green. Okay, so like basically everything stays. I just also need to adjust mine. Where's my actual... All right, it's time to figure out how to make this thing actually look good here. Right now, it looks cool, but I kind of want the back to be like, I don't know how to explain this. Like the back side, I want it to have like some solidity to it. Let me just think about how I'm going to do this. I'm probably overthinking this, so allow me to overthink this real quick. I think I got it. All right, let's switch back to the food truck. I want to select like this whole side. Just want to select all these faces. I want to separate selection. And I want to get rid of the mirror. Really, I want to get rid of everything. So what I really want to do with this is I want to take this and add a backing to it. So basically this would sit over here so that when this is seen, there's already like a part of it that's like not transparent, but it's like it's going to give it like kind of some backing. Does that make sense? So what I want to do is like, yeah, something like that. Cool. And then I want to find out these cylinders here are going to have to be applied. Where are they? Oh, duh. The cylinders that I don't want there are up here. So they're going to go up here. Let's go back to the other project and let's just see how it's looking. It does look like Fogger from the top view. I agree. There we go. We got rid of the cylinders, but they're still, are they still applied to the truck? They are. And then all these other Boolean objects that are hidden, we also have to get those to not apply. But I actually think this is going to end up looking really interesting. And we're only really getting started here. Remember, anything that you don't want seen, place it up here. So anything else? Perfect. And then let's go back. Food truck entry. Why is this cube? Oh, this is actually, oh, I'm stupid. This is the cube that was already in the scene. There we go. That's more like kind of what I'm looking for there. See, this is looking pretty cool. This is kind of like, this is like what I was imagining here. And now I feel like we can really start to add to this thing. I might add a backing to it as well. For some reason, though, I can still see through. Why can I see through to this side? I shouldn't be able to. Oh, I know why, because I didn't fill. All right, hold on. I know what I need to do. My music's jamming right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we're going to take this piece here. Where is it? We're going to take this piece here. All right. We're going to fill it. All right. This is going to look silly at first, right? However, watch what happens when we go back. Much better, right? Why isn't that one part showing up? Oh, it is showing up. Why am I not? I shouldn't be able to see through that. I'm excited about this, though. I'm excited about this. Someone here? All right, so everything's looking pretty good so far. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, okay, see. All right, we're good. Sorry, guys. Just had to check something. All right, so this is looking good. I'm just trying to figure out why. I want to see. There we go. Oh, I see why it's not working. There we go. It needs to be like slightly behind the truck. I bet you it works now. Again, this is just for like aesthetic purposes. I'd be surprised if this doesn't work. There we go, much better. And then I can see there's a slight gap, so I can adjust it even more. But now that I know this is going to work, look how I can pull off this effect, right? Because when I zoom in, right, we're getting that like that quote unquote like transparent effect that I'm looking for. And now I'm thinking, okay, let's go back, right? And now we can go ahead and adjust, because now I know this is going to work. Look at that. You can see the gap much clearer now. Perfect. All right, now what I can do is I can adjust the look of it. And I think it looks decent in black and white, but I just want to try white just to see what it's going to look like, because eventually we're going to have all of our internal components. And I think we're going to start adding those in just a second here. Nice. Yeah, this is going to look cool. And I'm also now realizing, where is our insert? I think our insert is not showing up for some reason. Oh, because I made it the wrong material. There we go. Now it should show up. Let's see. There's a lot of switching back and forth between projects, but that's usually how it's done. There it is. So there's our insert. This is good. This is good. I'm also curious, maybe we pair a light with this, like we put a light inside the truck so we can like really see what's going on. This is looking cool though. And now I can really adjust like where it's sitting on the road, right? Like I can really see it. Ah, look at that. Geometry nodes comes through and everything. Everything comes through. That is so great. I'm already really happy with this because this is just like my style. Like this is what I do. All right, so what I'm gonna do is next I gotta start adding internal components. It's time. This already looks so cool. What is the truck gonna sell? It doesn't matter yet because I want to fill it up with cool things. Like I want to put like an engine in this thing, right? I kind of want to see like what does a food truck engine look like. Why is my internet so laggy right now? I don't know. All right, I feel like for the engine, we can kind of like pretend like we know what we're making and just kind of make something random that looks cool. Or we can download an engine from offline. There's a lot of interesting things that we can do here. So I say we build one. I'm just gonna kind of like make something that I think like looks kind of like an engine. Hold on, we might do something different first though. I love how they just have all these little like gizmos and things. I'm interested in like, hold on, I'm really interested in doing all that. There's so many like internal components. I'm gonna show you guys something cool though. Check this out. If you take, oh yeah, it is. So if you take like a circuit board like this, wow, really, internet's really not great right now, and I don't know why. Why can I not get any images? I don't know if my internet's bugging out or what. This is weird. All right, let me just see something here. Pretty sure I have a picture of a circuit board, but let's see. There it is. All right, so we do have a circuit board. I'm gonna drag that to the desktop for easy access. Awesome. All right, so basically one of the things we can do, which is kind of cool, is we can kind of like put fake circuitry behind here. I'll show you what I mean. It's like if I take a plane and I go to my shading tab and I add a new image texture on here, we can kind of just slap a circuit board texture like on top of this thing. Gotta find my circuit board texture. Okay. Yeah, so scale this down. All right. We can start adding things like behind that make it look like this thing like has like circuitry in it, right? So like I probably want to do that like right here. Yeah, like that. Why can't I select that anymore? There it is. So here's what's really cool, right? You take this, you go to a bump node, plug that into the height, distance, right? Now you can kind of see in here. It's not perfect, but it does give you something before or after. And then you can do a color ramp. Here's something really cool you can do as well. If you subdivide this a few times, you can go over here to displace. Whoa. Click new. And then you just add the image in that you want to deal with, which is on our desktop right here. Okay. You go here to single image, yep, sRGB, object apply, rotation. It's not working the way I thought it was going to do. Usually it does. Hold on. Mapping. Here we go. Mapping. You want to do clip. Oh, that doesn't seem to do what I was trying to do on here. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, the nodes are fun. Usually with something like this, like here, I'm going to show you like what I normally would do with something like this. So like, let's say we want to generate like something inside that looks like a bunch of like little random like circuit pieces or something like that. We could go to geometry nodes to do that, and we could just do like a plane, for example. I'll show you guys what I mean here. There we go. Okay, we'll do new. We'll do distribute points on faces, something like that. And then we can just do like instance on points, right? And we could just do like a little collection. Oops, collection info. There we go. Okay, so for the collection, I think I'll just do like, I don't know, like cylinders, squares, and maybe like, probably that's it, like cylinders and squares, something simple, right? So we'll just do a new collection here. I'll call it circuitry. We'll do a cube in there. We'll do a cylinder. And that's really it. And then we go back to our vehicle collection. We go to our plane. We choose vehicle. Or I'm sorry, not vehicle. Oh my God. Circuitry. There we go. Instances. We'll click here. Pick instance. And then for the scale, we'll do a value node. We'll kind of go like that. We'll do separate children and reset children. Perfect. And now what we can do is we can start to generate some interesting things. So we can say like transform geometry, and I want to scale this on the z-axis so I can have like different sized like cubes and cylinders. So I could just be like random value, but I only want to combine x, y, z. I'll do 1, 1, and then I'll do random z. What? What do you mean? What do you mean no? Expects a single value. Oh, hold on, x, y, z. Separate x, y, z. All right, I'll just scale them randomly then. That's fine. Random. What? Oh, I want to do, I'm sorry, that's transform geometry. I need to do scale instances, my fault. And then with scale instances, that is where you do combine x, y, z. And this is where you can scale it up and down. So you can have like separate ones of those, right? You can also just scale them like randomly in general. Like you can scale the entire thing randomly like this, right? And then this is where you get into like density, like, oh, I want more or less of these, right? And this is where you start to get into like, oh, this kind of looks like a circuit board or something. Like this looks like components that could potentially be on a circuit board. And that's where you start to get like into some interesting things. And then you say, oh, you know what? Like maybe I could put other things in there that look like components that might be on a circuit board or something like that, right? So you have cubes, you have cylinders, and then on a circuit board, you might also have like smaller cubes. So I'll go into like, I'll show you what I mean. I'll go in here to circuitry. I'll duplicate my cube, scale it on the Z a little bit, right? Now you can see there should be more. There should be more in here. Pick instance, yup. There we go. And now look what we have. Now we have something really interesting, right? And if you really want to get crazy, then you can do like rotate instances. And you can like randomly rotate them. Hold on. Like for instance, we could rotate them on combine X, Y, Z. We could just randomly rotate them on the I don't know, on the Z. And we'll just do out of 360, they could choose any value. So now they're like randomly rotated and placed, right? Pretty interesting, I find. And then we'll take our cylinder, duplicate that, scale it in, scale it up, right? Because now we have like, whoa, now it's starting to look kind of like a city or something like that, right? So what I love about this too is it's all procedural. So then you can take this and you can place it somewhere in your object. But that's what I love about like geometry nodes is there's so many interesting things you can do with that. You could even go as far as to like make an actual circuit board. But for now, I'm kind of like sort of looking for something like this. Typically, I would not distribute the points on the faces though. I would do like a grid. And then I would do like mesh to points. And then I would take those points and that's what I would do here. Right? And then you take a value. And this value is going to be how many vertices there are. Right? And then maybe you make it a little wider, something like that. And now you have this nice big old grid, right? And then maybe you scale them down a little bit, right? Give some room for everything. But now you have this like interesting looking kind of like city thing, which I find, well, really interesting. Now the question is, okay, like what can we do with this, right? So what can you do with this? Well, basically, since we just confined it to a grid, not much, but typically you would distribute points like on a face. Instead of doing mesh to points, you can do like mesh to volume, right? And then you can do like, you know, distribute points in volume. And not randomly, you could do them on a grid, right? Like that. But then since this mesh is in a volume, well, now it is. Now you have a density, right? You can control the density here, spacing, right? And now you have this big old chunk of whatever. And you can decide what to do with it, where to put it. For example, if you wanted to put this like in the engine bay, you could easily do that. You don't have to, but you can. And now you got something that looks like this, right? And you're like, huh, that's interesting. That looks kind of like something that could be, I don't know, like in X-ray material. Maybe we do X-ray colored. Yeah, see, look, now you got something interesting going on here. Like, I wonder what that looks like if we were to go to... Actually, let's put it in the vehicle. Let's see what that would look like if we went back to our other thing. Just curious what it's going to look like. How you doing, Mr. Sanson? Good to hear from you, my friend. Obviously, this is sticking out of the front part of this, but let's just see what it looks like. Wow, interesting. See, now we can like, now there's like details inside of this thing, right? And I also want to mention that like with geometry nodes, like we could create a whole nother geometry node setup and kind of like fill this truck with wires. You know what I mean? Like that's something that we can absolutely do. I'm going to show you how we might do that, right? This looks cool already, but I'm going to do another geometry node setup. There's so much we can do. Like there's no limit. That's the cool part in Blender. All right, let's go back to our food truck here. All right. It's funny because like this was the kind of the original goal, but I'm like, damn, there's just so much we can do. I kind of want to like add. Did I add a bevel to this ever? Did I ever even try to add a bevel to this? Is it after? I guess we never did. Could add it manually, but it's like, is it even worth it now? Let's see. Why can't I select this edge? There we go. Why is it acting so weird? Oh, because these are so close together. Ah. Actually kind of looks cool. Well, since we have our shading, I don't know that this is going to matter. Like, it's not going to look bad, even though the bevel isn't really, like, accurate. I don't think it's going to look that bad because we have shading. kind of dig this vibe even without the wheel wells too. Like a hover, like a hover cart or something, like something futuristic without wheels at all. Guess we should probably have bevels here. Hold on. Bevels here and here. Yep. And then maybe a bevel here. Hold on. Here, 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 and here. And here, and here. Nice. That looks cool. Okay. There we go. Now this thing's looking interesting. Let's see. A little bit better. A little bit more of like a vibe. What is going on with our wheel there? Oh, there it is. We're losing it to the image. But there it is. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, I'm getting pretty happy with this thing. I kind of want to come back to these chairs here, though, if it's going to let me. Chairs are somewhere here. There they are. I kind of want to come back to these, and I want to give these, like, I don't know. I kind of just want to make them, like, this kind of color, like have a high roughness. Just curious, like, what they're going to look like. Interesting. At least in Cycles, it looks weird. Whoa. Let's hide this entire collection. This is definitely like my style, though, which I like. Guess we're going to have to put some wires and circuits in there, huh? Little circuit board guy, yeah? The circuit board would be more like, it would have a green plate. That's why I'm like, okay, do we make our own like circuit board generator where it's like a green plate? Let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on. I have an idea, guys. I have an idea. I know. Me, an idea? There's no way. All right, so we have this, right? Instead of distributing points on this, though, I want to do just like distribute points on faces. Simple. Keep it simple. Boom, boom. Okay? But we want the density to be really high, and we want to make sure that we are only using planes. Oopsies. Here, let's just do select invert and delete the faces. There we go. So we only want to deal with planes because I want to do it so that if like I duplicate this and scale it, I can make this any size that I want to, right? With a high density, of course. But now we have a circuit board. Well, we will in a second here. Show you what I mean. So right now we have all of this scaled down significantly. We want to recombine it though. We want to recombine it with our original geometry. We'll join the material, or join the geometry back with this, which is our original geometry, so we'll reroute it. And now it's rerouted. Cool. And then we'll just go ahead and set the position of these instances. We'll bring them up so they're above our plane. Perfect. And instead of scaling them on the Z, we'll just use regular scale instances. And we'll set all their origins to the base. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So if we go ahead and take a look at all of our circuitry, which is right here, bring it up, set origin to 3D cursor, and then we want to also bring this up, set origin to 3D cursor, and boom. And then we hide those. And now we shouldn't have that issue with scaling, except for there's one that I missed. Where's the one that I missed? Oh, there's a cylinder that's... Did I miss that one? No, I got that one too. Why am I getting a weird issue? Hold up, I shouldn't be getting this issue. The origin should be at the bottom. I getting that issue? Oh, I know. No, I don't. I shouldn't have any of these going through at all. Let's only resize them using scale instances. There we go. And we don't even need the set position anymore because we figured it out. Perfect. All right, now they're all placed where they should be. The skinny ones we probably don't need anymore. In fact, where are they? This one we don't need. These guys will keep. Okay, so now we have like our, well, quote unquote circuit board generator, but we kind of want them to be a little bit more like, well, we need to change the colors. Let's go ahead and change the colors here. We're going to give this 2 materials. The first material is going to be this. And then the second one is going to be whatever we want these pieces to be. I'll probably just make them like a chrome kind of material. So I'm just going to add a new material slot. I'll just do like a metallic. And I'm just going to call this metal because that's all I want them to be. Go back to geometry nodes. And I just want to, for the instances, I'm just going to do set material. This should not have a material. This should be metal. And now I just need to make these smaller and make them, hold on, wait. Could do the set position. Oh my God, there's so many things we could do. Let me make these smaller though. Okay, so now we kind of have these like quote unquote circuit board generators. So wherever I want to, I can tab into edit mode. I can duplicate them, scale them, right? And now we have these like random circuit boards. I wonder if it works if I rotate them. I haven't tried that. It does, except for it should be aligned to the normal. How do we do that? We have to go here and do align, rotation to vector, rotation, but we want this. Perfect. Now it'll always be aligned to the normal. And there we go. Okay, so we have kind of what we're looking for a little bit. I actually don't think they need to be rotated. I think them being stagnant makes them look more realistic. And then we can also give them like random colors. Like if we look up real quick one more time, circuit board. Did I spell it wrong again? I think I did. What are the random colors on here? Okay, some are orange, some are black. Let's just do orange and black, keep it simple, right? So in order to do that, we have them set to metal. If we go here to our metal color, which is right here, we can do a attribute node, and then we can do a color, or I'm sorry, a color ramp, right? And then what we'll do is we'll do a, is it factor? I think it is rand 1. I'm just going to call it rand-1. And then it could either be what? What did I say? Orange or black. So it could be orange or black. And then what we'll do is we'll go to geometry nodes. We'll do named, or is it named attribute? No, it's stored named attribute. And then we'll do rand 1. Right? And then we'll do, it's going to be a factor, but it's going to be, what is it, color point? Hold on, let me just check. Shading. The factors plugged into here. Geometry rand-1. See if I did this right. Rand-1. And then we'll have to do island, mesh island. We'll do island index, and we'll do random value. Plug that in here. And we want the ID to be here. Let's see if I did that right. We'll do random value float. I think I did that correctly. Did I do it right? I did not. We want color. Let me just see if that works. Should work. Did not work. Did not work. Color point. No. float point. It's weird. I've had this working very easily before. I literally have, I literally made a tutorial on this. Is this not how I set it up? Of course, YouTube's not going to want to load right now, but here, hold on. Guys, you know what's funny? I literally have a tutorial on exactly how to do this, so I'm going to pull it up right now. Random colors, random objects. Ah, here we go. Random coloring. Color. Float point. Yep. I'm pretty sure I did everything correctly. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't realize the instances. That was what it was. I didn't realize the instances. Oh my god. I was like, I know I'm doing everything right here. All right, so now we have these components that are like, they look pretty like legit. Roughness, we can keep the roughness kind of lower. That's fine. And here's what's cool is like, we don't really want like this slight. Oh, it's because they're overlapping. Oh, we don't ever want them to overlap. We want it to be poison disk. How do I say that? Poison disk? I don't know. Anyway, distance minimum should be like 0.01. Like they should keep their distance from each other. That should fix the problem. There's your random circuit generator, right? It's not terrible, right? Looks good. And then if you really wanted to, you could like randomly have lines appear on there. Like that could be cool too. Like if you really wanted to, you could do that. I probably won't do that right now. But here's what's cool. Now we can select all these faces, delete them, right? Rotate this, and now we can start placing these things like randomly throughout our bus, right? Our bus. I mean our, oh my god, our food truck. And I love this because I'm pretty sure like you can come in here, you can like take an edge, right? You could extrude it. I didn't think that was gonna look like that. Hold on, let me fix that. Where's my material here? We need to fix that. I'll just do generated. The heck, bro? Should just be working. I shouldn't have any issues. There we go. And then if we come back to geometry nodes, we can come in here. Right? You don't have to do this, but it's just an example. And then you can like come in here and be like, you know what? I want to start this over here. Right? Also, it should just be like, why is this just giving me such a hard time right now? That's fine too. And now I should just be able to like basically, oh, I gotta flip these normals, mesh, normals, flip. There we go. And then we come back here, we take this, right? Something like that. I'm just giving you guys an example of like how this could work. I'm curious though, like if we go back now, I kind of want to see what this is going to look like. Is it all the materials and everything going to transfer over properly? Why does it look so weird? Weird? Oh, is it? Oh, it's not that they look weird. It's just the lighting itself. That's what it is. We can probably fix that somehow. I didn't think that was going to be an issue, to be honest. But so far, so good. Like it's looking kind of interesting. I don't mind it. There's also like another aspect to this where you can just kind of have like, we could just make this a Blender Bytes truck. We could theme it around one of our things that we've done in the past, which is one of our tutorials, What is that? It's just a food truck. It's nothing too crazy. It's just for Beacon. It's actually a good time to shout out Beacon. If you haven't got your tickets already, I highly suggest that you do. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat below. There you go. We have some amazing speakers, and what I'm specifically working on right now is the call for artwork for food trucks, which is going to be pretty cool. So I'm really excited to kind of see what people come up with for this. I'm kind of just working on it just for fun. It's nothing like too crazy right now, but I think I'm going to kind of go back to the basics because I want to go back to the food truck. I actually don't love this circuit idea, so I'm actually going to hide this, and I'm going to move it away because I don't want this in my render. And I think I'm going to focus on something different now. I'm going to pivot a little bit here. I kind of want to explore the idea of like filling this whole thing with wires. I don't know why, I just love the idea of like doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my modifiers. I'm going to add a new geometry node setup. Okay, and I'm just going to do a mesh to volume. And then a volume, or I'm going to do distribute points in volume. And I'm going to say points to curves. For density, I'm going to do 40. There we go. You can already see this thing starting to fill up. Very good. Although I don't think... Did I select the wrong object? No, this is the right object. Oh, here we go. Voxel amount. Now we want voxel amount to be 10. Yeah, there we go. Now it's really filled up. Okay, cool. Points to curves, and we'll do a spline type, and we'll set it to Bezier, and then we'll do handle type. Set it to left, right, because now it's all curly, if you will. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a curve to mesh. And we're going to do a mesh to curve. And, or I'm sorry, not mesh to curve, circle. And we're going to do 10. There we go. Now it's kind of like filled with these little squigglies. We do need to rejoin the geometry, though, because we need our original geometry there. And there it is. How cool is that? Now I got this thing that's like filled with like these, well, other things. Interesting, right? I kind of like it. It's kind of a vibe, like, I don't know. And it's tempting because now I'm like, okay, do I go back here and do I just take this and just make this whole thing like blue, like Blender blue? Oh, that's a vibe, right? And then do we add another material for the inside of this? Like, do we make this like a yellow, right? This kind of like yellow material, this inner material 004. Set material, and we do 004. Now we got this like interesting thing, right? Is this my style? I don't know. Let's go back to food truck entry and let's see what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Wild looking though. Oh Lord, it looks so weird. Oh my goodness. I hate it. But now I'm also like, do we just do something that's like literally just all like all these little wires? Like now, oh, you know what? What if it's just this truck made of like wires? Like it's so simple, it's just a truck made of wires. Let's try to do that. Let's just see what we can come up with here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really thinking this through though. Hold on, before I do that. Yeah, let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Let's take the thing that I hid and get rid of it. Or not get rid of it. Let's put it up here. Good. That's the start of it. I kind of want to duplicate this and like simplify, right? This is going to be the simpler version. I'm going to add a new collection. I'm going to call it new truck. Boom. Okay. And I am going to do something wild and crazy. I am going to go over here to X-ray mode, select all these, SY0. I'm also going to get rid of the Boolean operation, and I'll keep the geometry nodes. That's fine. I'm going to hide all of this. I'm going to hide this as well. We're going to hide everything in the vehicle. And we're going to do new truck. Okay, I just want to see what this looks like so far. This looks really interesting. Because now I'm like, do we just do the truck, but we just fill it with like all these things, right? Because right now we have, it's filled with the, obviously the curves, but we can actually take these curves. We could do multiple sets of these curves, right? Like, watch this. I could literally take all of this and I could set it into a group. Hold on. Watch this. Now I can do this again, right? We can do, I don't know, voxel amount. Let's do density 300. Voxel amount is like going to be 20. And then we punch it into this. We join it with this. But then this time, we can set the material different. In fact, I'll delete this. All right, we'll set the material here. This is where it gets interesting because now we have to come back here. We have to make another material, and we'll just make it like, I don't know, red, just to test this out. That's material 006, so we'll do material 004 for the yellow, material 006 for the next one, and then again, duplicating all of this, rejoining, but let me make a new material. This one we'll just, so we have yellow, okay, we'll do blue, again, rejoining, coming up here. This one is going to be 200, and then we'll do 30 for the voxel amount. And boom. And now we should have, oh, we got to change the material to material 007. Now we have a truck that's filled with all types of wires. Totally abstract, right? But kind of also interesting. And here's what's great. If we're like, oh, you know what? We need to change the radius. We can do that right here, right? Boom. And we can also change the density too. If I'm like, oh, that's not dense enough. Oopsies, I might have just froze Blender. There we go. But now we have like this thing right here, right? I'm kind of curious now, if we go back and we go to food truck entry and we swap this out with the other one. Which one is this? Actually, the easiest way to do this would be to go, we take, I'm just going to say old vehicle, right? This is going to be crazy. We're going to move all this stuff to the old vehicle collection, and then this vehicle will go in here. Let's go back. This is going to be wild if this works. That might work, though, because it's really targeting that specific collection. So let's see. Should be a little bit off because the spacing is going to be off. Yeah, this is kind of cool, though. See, I kind of dig it, though. And then I'm like, did we just do, like, wheel? Like, I mean, this is crazy, right? This is, like, obviously not exactly what they're probably looking for, but I'm also like, this is kind of interesting. So let's go back and let's refine it a little bit. I kind of like the idea of just this, like, abstract thing that's just, it's more of like an art piece than it is like a food, like a detailed food truck. That's what I like about it. All right, let me go into my old vehicle here. I want to see, where is that panel? There it is. I want to duplicate this, and I want to bring this into this vehicle here. And then this whole thing, I kind of want to push it. Perfect. All right. And then I guess we will need, like, not wheel wells, but yeah, well, you know what? Probably will need wheel wells, right? I just want to see what I want to see what this looks like now. He said, what is that? It's a food truck. Well, it's kind of like a food truck. It's kind of like a glorified, it's like a glorified food truck. this thing is wild. And then What should be in our compartment? This is crazy. I'm crazy for even doing this. Hold on. Where is... There it is. I want this in the vehicle. Perfect. Let's go ahead and hide this. Show this. And we'll rehide this. Okay, perfect. This. Part of me is like, I don't even know what material this is. Oh, interesting. Okay. Or do we take this thing, all right, and just make it like a window? Like it's a window to the inside? Just curious. We're not in Cycles, so I can't see it. Yeah, what if the whole thing was just like this like somewhat frosted glass? That would be kind of sick. Gotta go back to the X-ray material. Whoa. This whole thing is just wild, bro. Man, I'll tell you what. This thing's wild looking. Like, what even is this thing anymore? No wheels, no problem, dude. No problem. File open recent food truck. Okay. Where's the... Oh my gosh, bro. All right, we need to at least get the wheels in there, right? Where's the wheels at? Yeah, let's at least get the wheels in there. Let's move them to the new truck. Now, vehicle, yeah. Remember, the mirroring should be on this guy now. Perf. It's just gonna look like... I don't even remember what was the material on the... Oh, yeah. It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. Dare we... I'm curious if we add the other geometry nodes setup, what would happen there? Was it geometry nodes 003? Scary stuff. Let's try it. It's being weird because they're all like somewhat disconnected. This is kind of an interesting thing though. Like I'm interested in like how this is gonna end up looking. We'll take user suggestions in a second here. This is wild though. I think I just like had so many ideas for like what I wanted on this. It's like I have too many. The problem is I have too many ideas. That's the problem. All right, we'll take user suggestions. We'll open up to user suggestions real quick, guys. I'm going to go grab some water. If you guys want to drop a user suggestion down below on what you want us to create next, let me know. I'm just going to do a quick bathroom break / get some water, and then I'll be right back, and we will hop into our next project. Because I think I'm done with the food truck for just like right now. Okay. So I will be right back. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. While you're waiting, you can feast your eyes on, is it this one? I think it was the cyber, what did we do? Shoe modeling practice. Tennis racket. We built a lot in the past. Oh yeah, this was a cool one. Don't save. This was a cool one. You can feast your eyes on this amazing render real quick. If it wants to open. There we go. It's not really that amazing, but yeah, you can feast your eyes on that while we wait. And when we come back, if you guys want me to design a product, I can do that. All right, guys. All right. So where are our community suggestions here? What do you guys want to see today? What else do we have on here? Man, we had a lot that we were working on. There's always so many projects going on in Blender. Always, always, always. Made a guitar, made a shoe. Not bad for like just kind of going crazy on it, right? Not a bad looking shoe, to be honest. This is a good time again to just shout out like Beacon. Let me just see here. Shouting out one more time, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at the link in the chat, again, Beacon tickets are available. Beacon is in Austin, Texas, April 13th to 14th. Please go get your tickets. Please, please, please go get your tickets. I will be doing a talk. That is all about Beacon. Actually, I'll be doing a talk and a side stage demo, so that'll be good too. Yeah, this is a shoe that I made a while ago. It's not the best model, but it's it'll do. There's always like room for improvement. This is another one we did. We did this on a live stream. I think, is this the one in the environment? I don't know if this is the one in the environment. This is actually, I actually own this shoe. This is a shoe that I actually have that it's a really nice shoe. Yeah, we did the texture on the bottom. Yeah, we did. This one was pretty cool too. I don't remember if we textured, if this is a textured model here. Oh yeah, this is the textured model that we did last time we were on a live stream. This was a cool one. And we actually put this in an environment, which was pretty cool. That was something we did. Um, and this was like a few live streams ago. So this was another cool one if you're interested in the shoe stuff. I'm trying to find the one we did that was actually in the environment. Where's the one that's in the environment? Here it is. Oh no, it's this one, I think. I think it's this one. Yeah, so this one, once it loads, here we go. This one was really cool because this one, shoes are hard for me to model. Yeah, shoes are difficult because there's so many like little details here and there. So this one was cool too because we did like a little environment around the shoe, which was fun. So that was kind of like a fun thing that we explored a while back. But that's why I wanted to get your guys' input, kind of see like, you know, what you wanted to see modeled. This is kind of like a free for all at this point. Just let me know what you want to see. Like, you comment below and we will create it on our live stream here. There's so many things that can be made. Like, it's really just a matter of like, are you stuck on something that you need help with? Are you looking to get advice? Are you looking for like input? Do you want to talk about AI? Do you want to talk about 3D, geometry nodes, shaders, lighting, physics? I know pretty much everything about Blender in terms of like a general sense, but there's always like room for improvement. Like, I'm not perfect by any means, but I can quickly generate ideas. That's I think my strong suit is like, I'm very like quick with it, but it takes time to like refine a really good idea. So you need to redo a shoe for a character that you're working on. Nice. Yeah, shoes are tough. Shoes are tough because you got to get the proportions correct. Like, there's a lot of considerations for that. Oh, this was a cool one too. This one kind of goes way back. We were doing this one. What was this, like maybe like a few weeks ago? I think a few months ago. I think we were working on this one. This is a big file, so it's gonna take a second to load. Yes, this one has a lot of textures going on in here. So I actually own this watch. It doesn't work anymore, but I own this watch, and we made this little like watch render, if you will. This was a fun one too. Again, like when it comes down to like everything that we did, we used image references, we used textured objects, we used pretty much everything we could throw at it. How hard is it to create a Vault Boy figurine from Fallout? Oh, Vault Boy. Who is that? Let's see. Vault Boy, you said? Vault Boy. This guy here? Vault Boy figurine. Like something like this. Why is this thing not letting me like click on anything? Vault Boy figurine. For some reason, Google just like won't let me click on anything anymore, which is really annoying. Let's see. I guess it depends on which one you would want to do. You want to go ahead and drop a link and show me which one you're talking about, because there's a lot here. I'm assuming it's like this one because these are generally they all look similar. There's like the pop figure as well. There's so many things too, like with characters. See, like this is really annoying. Like something's wrong. Something might be wrong with my Google. It's like not loading stuff. The Vault Boy figurine is a cool concept though. We could definitely explore something like that. I don't know why it's not like letting me click on images, but is there a Google outage? Google Images outage? I don't know. How hard would it be to create something like that? If I can get a darn image of the darn thing, I can let me try what's the other program? Microsoft Edge. No, I don't want to use it. Or Fallout Boy, oh my god. Vault Boy. The classic one with the thumbs up gesture. Vault Boy. Now, is it based on like an actual object? I'm assuming you're talking about like, I guess it would be like this guy here. Like this. Probably wouldn't be too difficult. The hardest part probably be the hair. His body's like pretty simple though. Like, it's pretty basic. I can't imagine it being too difficult. I probably would like go into like the sculpt mode and things like that. That's like, that would be a cool thing. What else is from Fall? Oh my god, I keep wanting to say Fallout Boy. Fallout. What are all the characters and stuff? This guy is pretty cool though. Yeah, thumbs up. There he is. Thumbs up. That's a good reference though. Here, we'll take this as a reference. All right, we can try to build something like that. I don't see why not. Try it out. Just so you know, this live stream may get cut short because I may have to go take care of my child. So just keep that in mind. Like if I have to hop offline, that's why. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and add our reference image. Image reference. There he is right there. Okay, cool. All right, so here's our image reference. I mean, I think like the first place I would probably start is by like mocking up the body. I'd probably just create this out of like maybe cylinders, maybe even cubes. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and scale this down. Let's just kind of block it out first. All right, let's kind of scale this down. I'm going to kind of block out the general shape first. We'll come back to the feet. I'll go to X-ray mode here. Okay. All right. I am just going to block this out. Okay. I'm duplicating, rotating, scaling a little bit. Why isn't it letting me select what I want? It's not letting me select this loop, but that's fine. Cool. So like now this is where we get into like we got to start connecting things up here. So we'll do like F right here, right? So far we just have this, right? Kind of like starting to form his legs here. So I think in order to connect everything up top, go ahead and tab back into edit mode. This is where we're going to have to like really be strategic because I want to take all of these things. Right? I want to take, let's make sure I have everything. Easy. See, like I selected something I didn't want. I don't want that. There we go. Yep, and we'll go to vertex select mode. This is just me like kind of like blocking it out. I'm going to snap it to the Z-axis here, scale it in a little bit. So now we kind of have something that looks kind of like this. There's really no, is there attachment in the middle? Yes, there is. Yeah, so like this part here, I would take these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. SY0, GY, kind of push it out. Now we kind of have like the general shape of like him. I'm also going to name this real quick. I don't usually do like character modeling. Let's see. I would probably eventually do like a subdiv. It's going to look weird at first, but we're going to refine it as we go. Because like I said, we're going to have to bring down like these pieces here. We're going to probably have to do a loop cut here, right? And we're also going to eventually do like creasing and things like that. This is going to look a little bit funky in the middle because of the way that we connected everything, but we'll come back to that in a bit. All right, so we kind of have like the base part of like the figurine. Shade this smooth. Yeah, so like we'll have to you have to kind of be really careful in the middle here. Like I didn't really technically connect this properly, so there we go. Okay. We can also, oh, what's really cool is we can also like remesh this too. So like I could do like remesh, right? And we could do like blocks or we could do like sharp, like a really, really low octree, right? But I don't want to do that because I want to have like more or less like full control over it, but we'll come back to that. All right, so for this part here, I would probably Shift D to duplicate this, and then I would take my edge, I would bring it over like this, and then I would take this part here, just the whole face, and extrude it up, and then press L to select that object, and then I would just scale this up. Perfect. And we'll come back to his like outfit and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think I'm going to start simple here. Actually, we'll start right here, and we'll do a loop cut here. We'll do one last. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to take the top part here. There we go. Also need to do a loop cut here and here. There we go. And then we'll take our top. We're in X-ray mode. Now, this is the part where I'll take like these pieces and start moving them inwards. Right? And then this is the part where I'll probably extrude up again. And then we need to be really, really careful here because we need to decide like how we want to do this. Because right now we have one edge here, right? And his body looks very square right now, so we're going to need to fix that, obviously. One of the ways we can fix that is by adding like another loop cut down here. But we really did the bottom incorrectly, so we're going to have to fix that as well. Yeah, you are talking about, this is the one you're talking about, I hope, because I hope I'm not like just wasting your time with this one, but this is, I'm assuming this is the one you're talking about. Also, what we're going to do is I'm going to delete some parts of this down here. Show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix the bottom part because I don't really like what we did down here. Shoot, did not mean to select that. There we go. I want to actually bridge. I want to take this and this, and I would like to bridge everything here, except for we can't because we added loop cuts. Hold on. Come back here. There we go. Note to self, do not attach these things the way that I did. Don't do that. There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll come back to connecting those, but I'm happy with, well, somewhat happy with that. I actually want to do a loop cut here because I want to stretch this out here. Oh, you know what I forgot that we are not taking advantage of right now? I completely forgot that we have access to loop tools. You were talking about this one. Thank you. Working on Fallout Designer. The funny thing is, I'm not your guy for character modeling, if you couldn't tell already. To be honest, I might just pop right into sculpting mode after this, but let me think this through one more time. I might, you know what, guys? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna restart. I'm actually gonna restart because I want to like really think this through before I do this. I think I might work with cylinder. I might just like block this out, combine all the objects, and then remesh it, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do a cylinder. I'm just really trying to think through like how I would actually do, like if I had to do this like professionally, like how would I actually do it? Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Yep, I like this better. Okay. There we go. Perfect. I feel like this is going to make more sense too, because even though this isn't going to be perfect, this is going to allow us to like actually do what we need to. Yeah, this is going to be better. Perfect. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll shift D, rotate, scale it. This is going to be his like waist built from a cylinder as well. But obviously this time, see, I feel like everything's going to be more like that. This time it's going to be kind of like this. Yeah. I like this method better than my method I had before. I don't know why, it just feels more like, it feels more like this is actually going to come up with something half decent. Yeah, I like this a lot better. Remember, this is not by any means an expert tutorial. It's not even close. Because look, what I'll do after is I'll do like a remesh. I'll do a smooth remesh like this. Hold up. There we go. This might be the worst thing I've ever seen. Hashtag throwback to when I thought this was actually going to be a good idea. See, I'll probably do something like that, and then I'll remesh it and smooth it out a lot, like in sculpt mode. But for now, let's keep that off. Okay. Why did I think this was a good idea again? Whose idea was this? All right. I'd be curious to see like an actual like certified person doing this, because I don't know how. I really don't know like how else to go about this, but this is kind of the way I'm going about it. Let's mirror it on the X global. Looks great. Office desk. Yeah, I got you. Oh man, it looks really good. Like, I mean, there you go. Like that's all I would do. No, in all seriousness, all seriousness though, I'm actually like pretty happy with how it's turning out, but it's just a matter of like now remeshing it and figuring out like how else we can do this. Also, I think for this part, I need to like extrude it up and scale it in for his like head. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Kind of get something like that. Oh, and also, of course, we need to like move this, right? We're gonna need to extrude that here. Is this behind him? Yeah, it's like more like behind him, like that. Yeah, his arm's kind of like behind him and his wrist is like back there. I think the wrist, I'll probably make that separate. That comes out here, and then this piece. I actually think this might work. Like, this might actually work. What do you guys think? I feel like that's the general like pose. And then for his feet, we'll do that separately as well. So far, I actually don't think it looks that bad. I'm gonna save a copy because I want to see if this like could work at all. It doesn't look bad. Like, it's a good base. It's a good base. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of credit here. All right, now when it comes to remeshing it though, that's where things will start to kind of fall apart here. So we're gonna really need to be like strategic on how to do this. That might be the move. Why is it? There we go. That might be the move there. Yeah. Yep. I like that. I feel like that might be it. Should we try 0.1 just to see how accurate we can get it? See, like, that's not too bad, right? Because now I'm kind of like, okay, I could do this. So let's go ahead and apply it. Let's add the smooth modifier 20 times. All right, now we're really smoothing out, right? We can do 40 times if we wanted to. See, now we kind of have something here, right? And now it's like, okay, now we can really start to like piece this thing together a little bit more. It actually doesn't look that bad. It's just like, there's just like a few little areas that need to be like modified. Like I think his stomach sticks out more, like it's more of an arch, right? But I don't think it's terrible. Let's go into sculpting. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if I remember all my tools. They used to have all the tools up here. I kind of liked when they were up here. I don't know why. Let's see. Where's smooth? This is smooth. Yeah, so like I would probably come in here, like start smoothing that out and stuff like that. Man, it's been a minute since I've sculpted anything though. Like this needs to be pushed up, so I'm going to use the, is it the grab tool? I believe it's grab. Yeah, like this needs to be pushed up and we'll smooth that out. But there's already a dent right there, so I'll keep the dent that's there, but smooth this area out. And this area here. At the end of the day, he doesn't have like any real anatomical parts of him. Like it's really like pretty base and rudimentary. So I'll kind of keep it like that. This part is going to be pushed back as well, so I'll use the elastic grab and push this back on the Y. Like that. Kind of push this back. And then I kind of want to pull his stomach out because he kind of comes out more like this. Right? I'm just kind of looking at his like different anatomy here. This part's going to have to be like broken up. And then the rest of it's really just going to have to be like generally smoothed out. Like, especially like these parts here. Yeah, like this part. So like I'm probably going to come in here and like smooth all this in a second. This part though needs to come down. Right? A little bit. Perfect. Everything's very cylindrical down here though, so I probably keep it kind of how it is. This needs to come in, right? Go to my side view and kind of see how we're looking here. Kind of try to match him the best that we can. I'm just using the elastic grab, which to be honest is great because you can really accurately get like how this is supposed to look. Yeah, see now I can tell, oh, okay, his body is wider here, right? And then we can smooth out the result once we're done. Right? Now, the funny thing is, this might look decent from this side, but then we come down to like actually looking at it from another angle and it doesn't look good at all. So we gotta be really careful here. Looks good. Not bad, actually. It actually doesn't look terrible. This side looks a little strange because we don't really know what the back side looks like, but it's actually not that bad. I'm kind of having some issues down here, so I'm going to take my smooth tool. I'm going to smooth out these areas over here. I'm just having some weird like cascading geometry issues. I'm actually going to go remesh 0.01. And I'm going to click remesh. Did that work? I think it did work, and it just froze the crap out of my computer, is what happened. Yep. Holy crap. Yeah, let's do 0.05. Let's try that. Blender didn't like that. Blender, are you there, my friend? I may have just frozen Blender, which is weird because I actually thought that unremeshing it, I guess I could have just Control Z. I could have just. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna force quit Blender. My whole computer is frozen right now. Note to self: do not remesh that high of a remesh. That was What's going to freeze up my computer? I'm sorry, Blender, but it must be done. It's like that scene in Lion King where like he pushes him off the cliff. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. All right, coming back to Blender, let's see if we successfully were able to get this back up and running. Oh my God, my computer is really not having it today. It's really not having it. Okay, we're back to normal, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? And we're going to keep it like that. What I really wanted to use here, the tool I should be using is the flatten tool, which is right here. We don't want to flatten it too much. Just kind of want... Honestly, I wonder if we come back here with the smooth again. We go smooth. So right now we're at a factor of 1. This is 30. That actually helps clean up a lot of those edges. So I'm going to apply that. I kind of want to add the head because I feel like once we add the head, we're going to have something a little bit better going on here. So I'm just going to start with a sphere. We're going to kind of move it into position here. And as usual, we're kind of going to try to see what we can do about the general shape of it. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like that. Like that's kind of the size of it, more or less. Maybe a little bit slimmer. Something kind of like that. But it's also kind of like in the mesh a little bit. Let's see how we're looking here. Yeah, that's about it. And then we probably just go ahead and remesh that. I'm going to remesh that so it's like good for sculpting. And then I am going to smooth it a little bit. About 20 times. That looks good. And then we're going to go into sculpting and kind of see what we can do with that as well. But it's already starting to kind of look half decent. Another hard part would be like the thumb and all that good stuff. But it's not looking like that bad. All right, guys, I do have to go. Remember, I was saying our live stream might get cut short. I wanted to say have a great day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry we can't live stream for longer, but thank you so much. Please, if you haven't already, one last time I'll shout it out. Check out BCon 2026 in Austin, Texas, April 13th to 14th. I will be there. Many other Blender artists will be there, and we really hope to see you guys there. If you haven't already got your tickets, now would be a great time to do so. You do have time to plan, get your hotels, your flights, all that good stuff, but I will be there, especially if you want to meet me or you just want to meet other Blender artists. As you can see, we have a great lineup here already. You probably heard of a lot of these names. There's a lot of great guys that are going to be talking that are part of the Blender community. And I hope that you guys will be there to network with us. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Have a great day. And as always, keep on blending.